Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy DonDon Gaming back at it with another video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing and going over the Return of Heroes Championship Mural. We are going to be discussing who I think the last three players are going to be, what the locking could be, and exactly just how and why. So let's get right on into it. So starting off, we have about 12 cards here that we already have attainable and that are already in the game. We have Kobe Bryant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Garnett, Dwayne Wade, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Paul Gasol, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, and Hakeem Olajuwon. So, what I think is coming. We are getting 3 more cards. We're getting 2 this Friday, and we're getting 1 next Tuesday. Now, what I think we could probably potentially see, most people have already guessed it, and most people it most likely is going to come because at least every single Friday there's been some sort of dynamic where the two players that come on Friday are somehow some way connected. So like Giannis and Kobe Bryant, if y'all know on Twitter how Kobe gave Giannis a challenge to get MVP and then a championship. Then the next Friday you have LeBron James, Kevin Garnett that are both kind of just played in the same era as being one of the top 5-ish players of their time. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Jordan, they both are one of the greatest of all time in general. And then you have Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant, which are both on the older side of the spectrum, but both are pretty hype enough people to where they can, be a headliner of packs. And then as the other 4 people, Steph Curry, Dwayne Wade, they're quite small to use in today's game of MyTeam, so it's kind of not really too high. That's why I put them in Tuesday drops. And Paul Gasol, also a guy that won a ring with Kobe and other people, but also does not have a hype enough name to be released on Friday like the rest of these cards. And then Hakeem Olajuwon, I'm surprised they put him in a Tuesday drop, but as well as that, he is also not too hype of a name to where people will want to be like, oh my gosh, Hakeem Olajuwon, let me open up $1 million worth of packs to pull him. That's why they put him in a Tuesday drop. So who I think we could be seeing this Friday is going to be Magic Johnson and Larry Bird hero cards. Both of these cards I think will come out tomorrow because they both are one of the most iconic people of all time in NBA history. Plus, with both of them, they have won rings on their respective teams, so it just makes sense to end off with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson because Magic Johnson has not got an updated card much, and as well as that, Larry Bird, his card is a small forward, power forward, and it came out in the glitch set to where it's not as usable. So it just makes sense for them to get their Invincibles tomorrow, this Friday, coming up. Now, who I think the last player will be, I think it's between 3 options. The 2 options are most likely going to be guaranteed. The other option is a lock-in. So, who I think it could be. One option, the last player I think option could be Udonis Haslem. I know you guys are saying, what in the world, Don? Why would you guess Udonis Haslem out of everybody in NBA history? Why Udonis Haslem? The dude's been rocking the Miami Heat for the longest of times and has won rings. It would just be one of those things to where we have not gotten a good card of him at all for a long time actually. As well as that, it's just one way, it's just something to actually get more hype into it and to end it off on kind of a cool warming note. Like the dude's been rocking the Miami Heat jersey since he was there. And it just makes sense just to kind of end it off with Udonis Haslem. Like that's more just like kind of like, this is more of just a fun way to end it off. The series is with Udonis Haslem, but I just think that was just a cool thing that I think would be fun to end it off with would be Udonis Haslem. I don't think too many people will be opposed to it, just because we have not gotten a good Udonis Haslem card. But theoretically speaking, who I think the last card will be, I think the last card will most likely. Udonis Haslem's 10%. This other card is going to be 90%. And that card is Tim Duncan. He's out. He's really needs in his new card, especially now. We already got, a lot of these other big name power forwards and centers in the game. Tim Duncan has not gotten his Invincible yet, so it just mathematically makes sense that we are going to be seeing Tim Duncan. He won his ring, as y'all mostly know, with his San Antonio Spurs, with Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and a whole bunch of other people that were on that amazing Spurs team. But I just think it makes sense for us seeing that Tim Duncan as that final card for the championship set next Tuesday coming up to end off the packs. Now, if neither Udonis Haslem or Tim Duncan are the last card, I think this card is either going to be in the set as the last player or he will be the lock-in. And I think that's going to be the all-time man with the most rings in NBA history. The one that man went 7 championships back to back to back to back. Repeat that all the way until you get to 7. And I think that is going to be GOAT Bill Russell. It just, like, yo, this is just, it literally matches up. The whole entire championship thing is people who won championships. The only way to end it off, either making him the last player in the set with the most championships, Bill Russell, or making him as the lock-in set, GOAT Bill Russell. Power forward, center, most likely. It would be surprising they make him play small forward. I think it would be better for him to play small forward, but it would not surprise me if they make him just play power forward, center. But I do think Bill Russell is going to be that last player, or he could be the lock-in. One of those two, I think Bill Russell will be. Now, if Bill Russell is the last card in the set, but not the lock-in, there's two things that I think could be the lock-in. The lock-in could either be, I heard some people rumoring around this, and it was saying like a 2 invincible card or a 2 a GOAT card, to where it's like, oh yeah, you can apply any badge that you guys want to a card that you like, for instance, like a card that we don't have yet in the game, make them a GOAT card or make them an invincible card. Like, it's definitely a good theory. I think that's a great idea for 2K. But the only problem I have with that would be having to see that the problem I would have happen with that would be, let's say you give, for instance, Nicholas Batum. He has not gotten an updated card yet. If you use that GOAT or 2 invincible type card from the lock-in, you would put that onto him. But guess what? They might come with the out of position one the week after. So it just doesn't really help much, because then it's just like you wasted it on a card. Plus, if you do that, will that card become a rewards card to where you can't sell them at all, or would that make it so that card's value will go up because they're basically an invincible or GOAT card? Like, there's just so many things I would have questions with that more than anything. Would be like, how would that scenario work if they make it to an invincible card, or to make any card in the game go to invincible or go to GOAT card? I just think it's a cool concept, but I just think it would work really weirdly. But that's just my opinion. Now, my theory as to what it could be, if the lock-in is not Bill Russell or that GOAT, 2 GOAT or 2 invincible card, I think the lock-in could be something changing. Like, literally MyTeam all-time changing. And that is a everywhere card. Now, I know you're probably saying, y'all probably like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, an everywhere card? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Hear me out. The everywhere card would mean you can apply this to any card in the game. It will work the same way as like a GOAT or invincible thing that we were talking about a couple seconds ago, but this one will be an everywhere card, to where you can apply it to any player and they can play every single position. So, for instance, for Kevin Durant, right here, every single card that he has had this year, he has played small forward, power forward all the way through. His opals, his pink diamonds, his dark matters, his sapphire can only play power forward, his diamonds, his emerald. They can only play small forward, power forward. We have not gotten a guard or a center type Kevin Durant. So, for the everywhere card, you can apply it to Kevin Durant, and he can play the point guard, the shooting guard, the small forward, the power forward, and the center. Like, I think that would be like one thing that will boost a lot of cards in this collection up in price, and it would make people actually want to lock in all these dark matters. It just, to me, I think that makes a lot of sense to have that as like the lock-in, because as you guys look back to the blog, they said in the blog, it says every hour, every minute the end game nears. Are you prepared? Will your heroes be ready? Your might will be tested. Forget what you think you know. This can only be experienced. Like this right here. Forget what you think you know. We already know that most cards in the game only can run 2 positions. So how else would it be? End game is near. Like, it just, to me, I think that's just something that I think could be something very interesting. And if like I said, it says it can only be experienced. So having to experience a card that can run every single position could be something awesome. The only issue with this, I would say, would be having to, once this does happen, the only problem would have to be is that a lot of people are going to be expecting that next year, to where a lot of cards can start running every single position. So it will alter a lot of things in MyTeam, and it will just make us go back to basically 2K19 and before, where every card can play every position, which, Yeah, that's the only thing, is that it's basically just going back to what we used to do in 2K19 and onwards. But I just think this would be probably a cool concept just to at least have and just see how it goes. Just see how it goes. But those are my theories. And if you guys want to know where everything lines up in this, this is how it looks. Shout out to JD Crossover with this. But this is the most up-to-date picture that we have of the return murals. So my guess would be we would probably see Magic Johnson right here, Larry Bird down here. Since it's like Celtics, I figured Celtics would be right next to each other. So I would think, Larry Bird will be down here in the bottom right hand corner. Magic Johnson will be right up here. And then I think for this one, like I said, it could be Bill Russell, just because there's a lot of rings around it. It just would make sense. And then have that lock in be one of those other two options that I had guessed. But if not, I think Magic Johnson will probably go here, Larry Bird, and then like Tim Duncan or Udonis Haslem will be in the bottom right hand corner. Whoever's in the bottom right hand corner, it most likely will be either Larry Bird or whoever the Tuesday pack is, most likely. But like I said, this is all speculation. This is all predictions. So don't take any of this 100%. But I will say take Larry Bird and Magic Johnson 99%. They're coming this Friday because it just would make sense because they're champions all time. So it just makes sense. But all around though, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming out and watching this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If y'all did, leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Hit that bell notification. You want to stay up to date on all my content. And as always, catch y'all in the next video. Peace.